but we need to move on. There's a little something we all love, ladies and gentlemen, is fantasy football. You absolutely know. And if you don't know, Let's Talk Football does a little fantasy football. This year it's going to be a nice little cast. You see my guys over here, the Swintons. They will co-host it with one of the guys that was here from the almost very beginning, Mr. David Wright. And we'll preview that for you guys. We'll talk about fantasy football in a minute, but check this out. Yeah, buddy, ladies.
That looks so good.
Let's go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, if you need stuff like that done, if you just like to watch it, you need to go way over here to this little lady right here, Miss Ash Swinton, who is dominating the game. That is absolutely amazing. I love it. I love the music. Cat, I'll play it 3 or 4 times. The cat's like, just stop. Like, headphones in.
Like making them, it's like, all right, okay. I must know this probably 50 times in the last 5 minutes.
I love it. I love it. Definitely tune into that, ladies and gentlemen. Noon Eastern. So that is what, 10 y'all time?
No, it's 9 our time. We're on Pacific right now.
Okay, yeah, so 9 y'all time, getting up early in the morning, doing fantasy football, and kind of helping you along right before kickoff, so we'll know who's in, who's out, injuries, who you can play with, a lot of this stuff, and we're gonna actually go right into that right now as we start into the second season. And we're gonna talk about the sophomore surge, guys. So Sydney, I'm gonna come to you first. We're coming into this next year. We saw what happened last year. If you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, Ash Swinton won our league after I made a glorious run from 8th to the title game, just to fall short to that jersey above Sid's head. If I had a torch right now, but Ash Swinton was the winner. But talk to us, Sid. What are we like? Who are you looking at this coming year? What do you got, man?
Yeah, so we just wanted to put a little 5 sophomores that I think are going to do better than projected as of right now.
Or just to like kind of be on the lookout.
Just something. Yeah, so not like the big name guys like
Jamar Chase,
Najee obviously is going to be up there, stuff like that. So I didn't pick any of those guys. So I did. One of them we did talk about already, Javonte Williams. Yep. He's one of my 5 that I think is going to have a bit better year than most expect. Just because, like we said earlier, the situation and everything there, I think he's going to have a great year for that. I have Trevor Lawrence down as somebody to be out there. I mean, from a fantasy perspective, he's still really down low on the quarterback list, but they did a lot in the offseason to help him. And I think he's insanely talented. He just needs the right pieces. He's got a great coach now, different than last year. So I think that's going to help a lot. I think he's going to outperform his current rankings when it comes to fantasy. Here's one for our guy Nathan Snell to get my point back. Rashad Bateman, I think, is going to be a big one. That's sophomore, just because there's nobody else. Yeah. He's the only option. I mean, besides Mark Andrews, but I think he has to be on there. And a lot of people are sleeping on him just because he didn't do much as a rookie. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Alex. So that's why I like T-Law. But yeah, I think Rashad Bateman's going to have a much better year than expected. I'm not saying he's going to be like a top 10 or 15 receiver, but
where you can draft him at, he's probably going to be a good value.
100%. I think Bateman is going to have a good year.
I'm not saying run out and grab them like round 1.
Yeah, exactly.
But somebody to keep your eye on.
Everyone pick.
And then
please, somebody, if you're in a draft with me, go grab these people round
1. And then my next one, I have Trey Sermon, the running back in San Francisco. A lot of people are higher on Elijah Mitchell because he played last year, but Raheem Mostert's gone. San Francisco is absolutely a running team, and they have multiple running backs. Trey Sermon was hurt last year, so he didn't play at all. So a lot of people are sleeping on him. I think he does a lot better than people expect. Dobbins isn't a sophomore, so I can't use him. So Trey Sermon, I like. I think he's going to be better.
Dobbins will be a bigger guy than like Bateman will be.
Oh, for sure. I hope so. I have Dobbins in my dynasty league, so
he's really helping those running backs over in Baltimore do some good
Beat
things.
More?
Because I have Dobbins and Gus Edwards in my dynasty league. And my fifth one, and I'm throwing this on there because everybody thinks Kyle Pitts is the god when it comes to this class in tight end. But what I tell you last year, early on, Sean, Pat Freiermuth is the guy at tight end, and he outperformed Pitts last year. And this year is even better because he's going to have a quarterback, either a rookie or Mitch Trubisky, who is new to the system. And when you're either a rookie or you're new to a system, your favorite person to throw to is a tight end. And Pat Freiermuth absolutely is that guy. He showed out last year. He's got the talent. He could do it all. So I think he has a much better year than people think because he's ranked. I mean, he's not in the top tier tight ends yet, and he's below Kyle Pitts from that class. So I love Freiermuth. I think so. But I've seen lists where he's not there. So I think he's going to absolutely thrive in the new system and stuff with the new quarterback situation. So I had to give him a nod in the sophomore surge, guys.
I love French fries. That not a lot of people talk about him. But
I know.
I love Patty.
Hard for me to put Pitt so high we can't block and couldn't catch a ball in the end zone to save his life.
That's the issue with me is you can't catch in the end zone. So for fantasy purposes, not about it. You'd have some good games every once in a while, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, considering everyone had Pitts so high.
Now, Pitts does have the same situation as Freiermuth. He's got a new quarterback or a rookie, depending on who they go with. So they're going to lean on him, you would think. The problem is they don't have any receivers. I mean, they got a rookie, Drake London, but that's it. The defense can key, and they don't have a great running back like the Steelers do with Najee. So it's not the defense can go in and key on Kyle Pitts. He's probably the number one guy to key on, where Freiermuth in the Steelers offense is not that guy. Najee, Deontay, Claypool, George Pickens, our second-round pick. There's so many more options that are better than just Freiermuth. So you're not going to have a defense.
He's not your superstar, right? Kyle Pitts.
What's the list now in Pittsburgh for number one now? Would it be Deontay, then Najee?
Receiving-wise?
Yeah, receiving. Yeah, number one target would be Deontay, then Najee, then
Freiermuth. I might put Muth.
Above Claypool.
I might put Muth above Najee just for receiving. I mean, Najee will have 60, 70 catches.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So Freiermuth should be in that range too, 70, 80, I think.
But then where's Claypool above Freiermuth or?
Fantasy-wise, I would take Freiermuth over Claypool. I think he's going to have a better season. And just because we have the same offensive coordinator, and they did not use Claypool well at all last year. So if they don't,
it was so frustrating to watch them use Claypool. Because he was a stud, and then last year you're like, what is happening? What are you doing?
Yeah,
jump ball to the every time. You're like, I can't handle this.
And see, I would take the friendly wager that Freiermuth has a better fantasy season than Pitts. Fully healthy all the way through. I think Freiermuth has a better fantasy season than Pitts, and there's no way you're taking Freiermuth in the second round. Whereas Pitts is going in the second round. So that's why I think he's lower than, or he's going to outperform where he's at.
Yeah, there it is.
Andrew said, wager, I'm in.
Yep.
Rocket lock in. So many wagers going into the season. We need to create a spreadsheet so I know.
Right. I need an Andrew whiteboard so I can just write down all my bets I got with everybody.
The girl show
put it on the board.
The lady show has a spreadsheet. We need to make you guys one for how many times you say it. Put it on the board. I said this.
I know that. I got the Browns bet with Kyle. I got all this stuff.
Let's get it. Right.
Virtual handshake.
I love it.
Y'all too much.
Ash, what is your? Would you have anything different from that, or what do you?
Yes, the only same player we had was Javonte Williams. And I just think he's going to have a better year because they upgraded at quarterback, which just makes him better. I'm really high on him. This might be partially due to listening to Sydney talk about him for like a week before we drafted for the Dynasty show, but I'm really high on Javonte Williams now. What did you say?
Everybody wants big boards. They see how usefully they are. For real, though.
Yeah. Sticking with running backs, though, I had Etienne. Etienne was hurt all last season, so I think he kind of just like fell off the face of the earth for a lot of people because out of sight, out of mind type thing. But I just think he's going to have a good year. I feel like
he was a first-round pick.
Exactly. And everyone was saying he's going to be like Kamara 2.0, where he's going to be running and catching and all that jazz. So I'm thinking he's going to have a good year. And I totally had just forgotten about him, obviously, because he was hurt. So that's one person that's on my radar. And I assume he won't get drafted too high just because.
The thing about him is James Robinson's still there, and I think he's uber talented.
That too. But...
And a lot of players like James Robinson in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But Etienne was drafted high to be the guy, so.
Yeah.
They definitely probably going to run that 2 running back system for a little bit.
100%.
I also like this one. Another person I have who I was so high on last year was Amon-Ra from the Lions. I'm obsessed with him. He was, at the end of the season, he did amazing because everyone was hurt, which is my only kind of concern going into this next season is with Hawkinson healthy, and then they got Shark. Did they drafted somebody? So I'm worried now his shares are a lot more, so he won't get as many touches as he did last season. Because last season it was like what you're saying with Bateman is who else was there? He was the only one on the field, and he stepped up though. He was amazing.
Balled out.
He was in top 3 wide receivers for total points the last end of the season. And he averaged 25 points. Dude was amazing. There was one week where you're like, do I play Amon-Ra or somebody else? And you played somebody else and you lost.
Russell Gage.
And I was like, you
literally cost me the championship in a $200 fantasy league. Mistakes were made. If I made that one switch, I would have won. Anyway, I'm not bitter.
I think about it because I'm obsessed with him. He was my hot player of the week 1 week for the lady show. I just love him.
I can dig it.
My next one was Elijah Moore for the Jets. I think he's a good flex player. Not necessary. I'm not reaching for him in the first couple of rounds, but I'm a little worried about him with touches too because they got Conklin, Uzama. They got another running back, so now they have 2 good running backs. And did they draft a wide receiver too?
No, but they have Corey Davis who was hurt some of last year. And
Elijah Moore was hurt.
Yeah,
he had that season-ending injury, so I'm hoping that's another person I'll be on the lookout for.
He's talking about Amon-Ra, I believe.
I want to read it.
Yeah,
that would be great. If you're in a draft with me, don't grab Amon-Ra because I want him very badly. And then the last one I have is this is more of just I'm curious to see what happens with this and if he lives up to the hype and if the Niners finally pull the trigger and play Trey Lance. That's my last one. Because he only started 3 games since he's been. But you drafted a guy number 3 overall. He's only played 3 games so far. At some point, you have to pull the trigger and you got to see what it's all about. So that's another person I have. Noted. Yeah.
Taking Amon-Ra as trade
bait. Yeah. I am the worst because I will tell you who I want. And Amon-Ra, if you're in a league with me and you get number 2 and I'm number 1, Najee's not dropping to you. It's no secret, but those are my top 5 guys.
For the sophomore surge.
For the sophomore, I can dig that. Honestly, mine, one of the guys that a lot of guys that you guys had, Elijah Moore, one of the guys, obviously Javonte Williams, one of the guys and Trevor Lawrence. I've told you guys multiple times, my dark horse AFC Championship San Diego Chargers, Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But honestly, yes. Honestly, somebody that actually showed out last year, that got shout out, my guy Anton Benton, he was shouting out on the Washington show a couple years back. Rondale Moore out of Purdue, had a solid year a year ago. I think he's going to have a great sophomore season. I think he's going to break out. And another one, we talked about the Jets. I mean, honestly, in that duel last year between Jacksonville and the Jets, this dude had like 52-yard rushing touchdown. Zach Wilson. We've seen all his off-the-field drama and all this stuff with that like this. The guy could play. And they're starting to build around him. It's no secret about that. So, I mean, hey, let's see if he can put all the off-the-field stuff on the side and really do something in New York.
Oh, we love the off-the-field stuff. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's been hilarious. Honestly.
Him and his mom are funny.
I like the Rondale Moore say, because
I was with, looking at Rondale Moore.
Christian Kirk leaving and then D-Hop being suspended for 6 games. Rondale Moore is kind of the guy now. So that's actually a really good call out.
That's a good one. I'm excited to see what Zach Wilson can do too.
I'm excited to see what they can kind of do. And I want to shout out my guy, Dax Milne, the guy that took Zach's girl. Yeah. Washington, baby. That's right.
You should tell Sean about that card.
I pulled his autograph card
on
my break on Friday. Dax Milne,
We're like, wait a minute, that's the one that
I was like, I think this is Zach's ex-best friend with I pulled his autograph.
Let's go. Hey, and he's still getting a check. He's still, I believe, right now 6th on the depth chart, kind of down there. But hey, we lost. Our DeAndre Carter, our special team kick returner guy, went to sign with the Chargers. So hey, Millen got a new girl, man. Incentives. He needs to get some money now. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, we that's what it is. Check these guys out Sunday mornings right before game time. Let's talk fantasy football. Swintons, David Wright, gonna have guests on there from time to time. Definitely giving you all the news and notes, answering your questions. One of the actually kind of more the funnest shows we did a year ago, because a lot of people, once we started getting going, they would just randomly pop on, ask random questions. And a lot of the show became answering the questions, going in, and people would come up immediately as soon as they saw us on there. What do you think about this? What do you think about that trade? You know what I mean? It's a very interactive show. So I'm excited to definitely see that.
I was on for 5 seconds one time, and then I got kicked out.
It was great. Is that after the Dallas win?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was rough. I had you and David on there. Oh.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.